there are some options possibly in free agency. So we're going to put a graphic on the screen for you guys for our next segment. And it's kind of just looking at free agency. And I've probably talked about free agency at nauseum that people are probably sick of these topics for the past month. But I mean, like looking at some of the possible free agents on this graphic, are there any that really pique your interest, possibly at the guard position or the power forward position?
I don't know if this is the name that you'd think I would have pulled out of the hat here, but I really do like Dean Wade. I'm gonna pull up his numbers here for a second because I know he's not the best defender, but he does give it a good effort. He's got good size. He's 6'9", 230. And last year for the Cavs, 6 points, 4 rebounds. He was 44, 36, 71. Like he's a very good 3-point shooter. He has been for the majority of his career. I like the effort level. How many? He started 38 games for the Cavs last season. Actually, the Cavs have another guy, Jalen Tyson, that I think if you could steal him, I'd be pretty cool with. But yeah, I like the idea of Dean Wade. I don't love that he's going to be 30 going into next season. But like, funny enough, you brought up like Cam Johnson. I'd probably rather go the cheapo route. Give me the 50% version of Cam Johnson and Dean Wade. Other than that, I do like Rui. Rui Hachimura, great shooter. I think that there's a little bit of untapped ball handling ability there for him. He flashed that quite a bit back in Washington and in international play. Hasn't done it as much for the Lakers, but the Lakers have Reeves. They've got LeBron. They added Luca. I think that maybe there's something you could kind of tap into. He's very physical and punishes mismatches really well. And none of these are the fun names like Norm Powell. I'd love, but I doubt he's gonna really be gettable. He can make the most he can make is by sticking with Miami. CJ Cullum the same way, and I know the Hawks want to keep him. I know the Wolves want to keep him around, right? Maybe you could still get in and steal him away. He'd be a great fit. Um, and for as unexciting and not necessarily inspiring as the free agent class is, there are a lot of really solid players that probably too many solid players. So someone's going to be taking a discount, and that should, in theory, work out for the Pistons well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Chicago is just gonna like really try, even though they have the most cap space out of everybody. Like, I don't know if they're gonna try to throw the bag like let's just say like a CJ. Like I doubt that he wanted to go play like on a rebuilding team because he was just on a rebuilding team in Washington. But Washington actually looks pretty nice right now. Not even gonna lie. Winning the lottery, you got Trey Young, you got Anthony Davis, still have Alex Sarr, and a bunch of other intriguing pieces over there that I really like.
He was
Um,
Atlanta, right?
yeah, he's in it. He's in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the one name that Pistons fans keep mentioning is John Collins. Like John Collins, to me, I don't know if you can get him for a MLE. I think you might have to pay a little bit more because I think when you just look at the power forward market, it's like him and Rui, in my personal opinion. It's funny you mentioned Dean Wade because I told Laz I said I could totally see the Pistons saying we're gonna make a marginal move. Come on down, Dean Wade. Like I could totally see them doing that, man. And
Me too.
Pistons fans are like, we're gonna trade for the guy that got subbed out for Sam Merrill or whoever replaced them in the no Max Struess. I'm sorry, Max Struess. Like I could totally see that, but you do like the size of him being like around 6'9", 6'10". He's not the most consistent 3-point shooter, but like if you're just talking about like marginal cheap moves, like Dean Wade fits the Trajan Langdon bill 100%. I like it's probably gonna happen because we're talking about it. Like we're probably gonna see Dean Wade in a Pistons jersey, and someone's probably gonna say it's your guys' fault that you spoke it into existence.
It wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, look,
No.
if they're going to bring back Harris and they're still going to say, hey, we want Tobias to start another year and continue to shepherd along Ron Holland because that's our long-term plan. If you add a Dean Wade to come off the bench behind that and pair with Ron, like that works, man. It works. He'll come in, he can be a flamethrower, he'll go shoot. I love the energy that he plays with. He's a high effort, high intensity player that fits Detroit real well. He can start in a pinch. Like there's a lot of benefits, and he's not gonna be expensive. I mean, you're talking, ooh, maybe like you could get
Five.
two Dean Wades for the mid level. You know, that kind of thing, which is something you could do. You can't split up that mid level exception. So like if you wanted to go, I don't know, like looking at this list, like you get Dean Wade and Tim Hardaway Jr. for a combined 15 mil. I could see that. I could see that happening. And, it's not exciting, but two really solid players fill a role. Doesn't make it worse, right? I mean, it's maybe not as much better as you'd want, but it's a path of least resistance for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like when you just kind of look at the free agency names, like obviously, I think the one name that I didn't put was Anthony Simons, and the only reason why I didn't is because as much as a bucket as he is, I just wonder how much JB could actually live with another guard that doesn't play defense. Because I feel like that's like really high on his list, which that's why I know we got like the AO the sumo report that the Pistons weren't willing to actually include a prospect like in a trade with the Bulls. Like I feel like AO would kind of just be like a match made in heaven with the JB Bickerstaff. Especially of just kind of him possibly playing next to Cade, him being the backup point guard off the bench. Like he's just such a high level player.
Oh, I love his game. I've loved him since he was at Illinois. He's a great two-way player. He showed a little bit with the Timberwolves in the playoffs, being able to create a little bit for himself offensively too, which was new. I mean, I think he's an ascending player, even though he's a little bit older. The thing with Io is like, the Wolves want to keep him, and they've got their
Mm.
mid-level exception too. So you're going to have to get above that, and they're not going to want to sign and trade him away. So your only route with Io is like, hey, we're going to renounce everybody that's not named Jalen Duren. We're going to go the cap space route. We're going to cut Duncan Robinson and only guarantee the 2 mil of his contract. We're going to hope maybe we can bring him back. We're going to trade Levert into cap space, and then we're going to go give Io DeSumo like $25 million a season. You comfortable with Io at that? I don't know. That's a lot of projection.
Yeah, it's like I love him as a prospect. I really do. But like to your point, like I don't know if the Pistons would go through that many hoops just to sign him. Not to say that they can't improve the roster with like kind of like possibly getting off of Levert's money or um, looking at Duncan Robinson's contract of it being non-guaranteed after a certain date. Um, it's a lot, man. Like a lot of these names are just like low end. Like I wouldn't hate a Landry Shamet either. Like I feel like he's been really huge for the Knicks. Pretty good 3-point shooter too.
Yeah, I like Shamit as in the same class as like a Tim Hardaway Jr. who did have a really nice year in Denver, by the
Oh yeah.
way. So just kind of bringing in a bench shooter. Another name not on the list, but kind of my guy right now, Sandro Mamukelash. Been a fan of his at San Antonio, but
Hmm.
you're looking at he's a 4-5 kind of combo. He played a lot of the five last year with Toronto, but 6'9", good size, good length. I think he's like 240 or so, but put up 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 39% from three on about 4 attempts per game in 22 minutes a night. Like I I think he could even push Harris to start. I'll be totally honest with you. And the intensity that he plays with, I just absolutely love. I remember 2 years ago when Wemby was hurt, he had a really nice game against Detroit. Played like his hair was on fire. And I remember going back to Bryce Simon, like after that game, going, "Who the heck is this guy whose last name like wraps around the number on his jersey? Because he needs to come to Detroit." And then lo and behold, he goes to Toronto and has a career best year. I mean, like that's the guy I'd give him the full mid level. I don't care. Come in, come compete to start. He's a floor spacer. He can play the five if you need him, if Stu's hurt. Like I am all for Mamukelash really coming to Detroit. That would actually excite me, as boring as that sounds.
Yeah, like he's a name that I've heard brought up back to back, like free agency, from
Yeah.
Pistons fans, and I'm talking about like I categorize certain Pistons fans with their ball knowledge. Like if they ask me about Sandro, I know they're like me. They're in the trenches. They're sickos. They're pissed. They're looking at Sandro saying like,
Here, right?
Sandro's a really nice player, like a really nice player. And I think he's kind of the archetype that we always talk about of like kind of having like a stretch big or a stretch four. I
Yeah.
think he does. I think he makes a whole lot of sense though. The only reason why I didn't put him on the list is I don't really know like what his market's going to be. You
Me
said
either.
you would give him you said you'd give him the full mid level. Like you're like,
I
well, let's
would.
just do it.
I
Let's do
would.
it. Like
I'm all in. Yeah. He's in the same if you're looking for like a history with this, last year the Pistons were loosely tied to Santi Aldama. Same kind of
mhm.
idea, same kind of player. They've got some differences. Sandro's a little heavier. He's a little bit more physical than Santi is, but you're looking at a stretch big. He can moonlight at the five. Not amazing rebounder, but there's a little bit there to untap scoring wise, and a very good volume 3-point shooter for a big. Same kind of idea. But yeah, in terms of like his market, you could get it. Maybe he's cheap. Maybe there are a lot of other teams seeing the same thing I am. Like I'd probably rather have him than John Collins because the idea of John Collins is always better than the reality of John Collins. So you can ask just about any team and any fan base that's had him. The numbers look great, and then you watch them and you go, I just wish we could get a little bit more out of this guy. So I'd probably rather have Mamu. And if you're talking Collins needs to get more than the MLE, which I agree he might, I don't know. This is just going to be a really weird free agency class, Anthony. I just it's going to be weird.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I mentioned, we'll probably sign Dean Wade. Pitchforks will be out, and they'll be like, "Yeah, it's all your fault
I'll be
because you guys
running
talked about
victory
it."
laps. I came on Pistons Talk and I said Dean Wade. You called me crazy. No, you didn't. You didn't. You're good.
Like I literally told Laz, I was like, I could totally see them doing that, man. And like, I know how Pistons fans are. The bum that got subbed out for Max Strus, that's who I was like, bro, like just relax. Like he makes sense. Uh, like defensively, I think Pistons fans would like him because he can use his length. It's just like if he became more of a consistent 3-point shooter, I think would be okay. It's just he's not the most consistent 3-point shooter.
Yeah, it's similar to Tim Hardaway Jr. as a 3-point shooter. They're both just very streaky guys. But I mean, streaky as in almost always been above league average on good volume. It's just some nights he's going to knock down five, and then the next he went 1 for 6.
Yeah.
You kind of live with the roller coaster there. But I think as long as you're not banking on him to start, it's life's good. Added another shooter, added some more size, high effort defender. Can't go wrong if you're really bargain bin hunting. That's solid.
Yeah.